Everybody, it's your boy Carlton. I just wanted to get on here and talk about something that I had to deal with and so many other people are dealing with as well, which is this whole EDD situation. So I want to answer some questions. I've done a lot of research, so I think it would be valuable to share that. Where do I start on my story? So I was basically receiving, my unemployment fine and dandy from March to about I don't know. I think all the way till September. Yeah, all the way till September. And then I got a notice in the mail requesting that my identity be verified. So I actually got a link online through my EDD account requesting for certain documents. I ended up sending in a picture of my ID, birth, birth certificate, and a picture of my social security. So I actually sent in 3 different items. So I figured, I sent those in. I figured it was online. It'll be automatically checked really fast. And I would get my money and situation coming back. However, obviously it's EDD, so it's the Unemployment Development Department, and they don't do anything fast and easy like they should or like we think they should. Granted, they are inundated with a lot of applications. None of us don't really give a F about that. Hire more people and get this money out. Submitted the information online, thought that it would be coming back, pretty fairly soon, at least within 2 to 4 weeks. I didn't hear back. I didn't get any confirmation that my, information was received or accepted or anything. I was just waiting and waiting, and then I finally made a call, I think after 2 weeks, just to check in on, what might be going on. Or it might have actually been even more like 3 or 4 weeks, because I really thought the situation the first time around would be handled within a timely manner. So I wasn't really pressed about it. So I make that call and come to find out, actually, it wasn't a call I made. Let me go back. I actually checked my EDD account, and it notified me that my claim had been disqualified. And I'm like, why has it been disqualified? Give a call and talk to a representative that lets me know that my ID was not accepted, and that the other 2 documents were basically, they just didn't accept any of my documents. So I'm like, why? He's looking over them and he's saying, well, the birth certificate actually is a valid document. The social security card is not needed. I guess it's just not needed for some reason. That wasn't one of the documents that they wanted to receive. And the ID, he said, well, your ID's expired. And I said, well, yes, my ID did expire on October 3rd, and I submitted this on September 29th. When I submitted it, my ID was valid. They did not check it until October 31st. So, through that effect, they had disqualified me, and I needed to rectify that situation, which I thought was complete BS, because when I did submit the ID at the time and before the deadline, delivered to me, I had sent that information in. So to me, they should have accepted the valid ID, which was valid at the time. It's not my fault. They waited 30 days and, to check my information. Either way, that's neither here nor there, because it's EDD. So we have to play by their rules. I was then instructed to basically send them in a new valid ID. So I did go ahead and, I had just actually renewed my ID. So I sent that information in. But, in sending that information in again on their online system, I called them and said, hey, send in my information. Can anybody check that? They're like, oh, well, it'll take 6 to 8 weeks for us to go ahead and confirm and check your ID and information. And I'm like, excuse me, it's already been 4 weeks that that you guys didn't give me anything. So you're saying I have to wait another 6 to 8 weeks for you to check the information that I'm calling and telling you is there and available to check? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So Again, a lot of trouble, a lot of hardship, a lot of confusion with this entire situation. I go into that much detail because I want people who can relate to know exactly where we are, because there's multiple people going through the situation. I've seen it online because I've been doing a lot of research. So let me continue to fast forward through this. I'm told 6 to 8 weeks upon my second submission of valid documents for them to go ahead and confirm. And yeah, I waited another 2 weeks. I was struggling very badly. I'm sure a lot of you are. Luckily, I don't have any kids or anything to take care of, but I do feel for people out there that have whole families and mortgages and really big things to deal with. It's terrible. So let me just fast forward. What I did, I was calling EDD every freaking day trying to get through to the identity verification line, which is impossible. You can try to call that number over and over again, and for the most part, you will get that message that states that nobody is able to take your call because they're receiving too many calls. And I talked to the regular representatives on the 800-300-5616 number. Yes, I do have that number memorized. I talked to the representatives there, tried to get a supervisor on the line. They will tell you that they're expediting, or they can expedite it. Well, some of the agents will tell you that they can expedite it. Other agents will tell you that they cannot. So I don't know what the deal was with that. So again, fast forwarding through the situation, calling basically didn't really help. However, I would say if you're waiting for your money, call these people every day, because you need to do your research. You need to have the information and put the pressure on them. So I would, call every day. That's what I did. But I also did my research online, and here's what I found. So I actually went on Reddit and looked up situation with EDD Identity Verification to see if anybody else was having this problem. Indeed, they were. And what I found was fax numbers. So basically, I'm going to provide those fax numbers that I found in my notes here, attached to wherever this is going to be posted, which I intend to post to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and whatever else there is. Just so YouTube, so this message can get out to as many people. But I recommend using the fax machine, using the fax number. Now, you may not have a fax machine available to you. However, you can go on, I believe it's efax.com, and do a 14-day free trial. That's what I did. And this is not an advertisement for them or anything, but sure, they're a great company that allows you to use a 14-day free trial. And you can go ahead and blast these fax numbers from EDD that I provided in the caption below with your information. So what you're going to want to do is send them your valid ID. Make sure your valid is not expiring in the time frame, as a nearby time frame, or you will need to attach an appropriate renewal form. So you got your ID. You can do your W-2, and you can also do, birth certificate. Other forms are listed on EDD's website, so just make sure you review those. But go ahead, get those as a PDF document on your computer. Visit to efax.com, make yourself an account. You can send over those documents to the numbers provided, and you can send multiple faxes in one session. Like, you can blast like 8 numbers with that same information. And that's what I did. I basically sent that damn fax to every number that I found. And the result of that, there was also some addresses, which I'm going to get those as well off of here. There was a couple physical addresses, one of them that was in Sacramento. I'm in California myself. I know this video will be seen all around, but I'm in California myself, so you may want to just double check that portion of it. Actually, I'm not sure, if those fax numbers again I'll put a disclaimer that this is for California, but within your state, do the research, find a fax number, find alternative methods in order to send in your information, because doing it over the phone and doing it by doing it over the phone and doing it by their electronic system is very difficult and it doesn't bear results as fast as what I seen with the fax. So let me get to my point. When I faxed the information over within the next week, I had called again and was able to confirm that I was finally verified. Now, after being verified, and again, there's not a lot of notifications that come through. I don't know if they mail the notification out to you or if they, whatever they do, but I kept looking at my online EDD account and there was no change to that. There was no balance renewed. There was no information saying, hey, we got your ID. I had to call in again and ask a representative, hey, I faxed you guys, what's the status? Somebody, again, was able to tell me at that point, yes, we did verify you. And because my claim had been disqualified or turned off, if you will, for a couple months, my claim had actually expired. So I had to get on the phone. I was already on the phone, but I had to make that call again to confirm my verification, but also move the process along forward into them giving me a new claim. And basically porting over all the certifications that I had certified for without getting paid onto the new claim and then paying those out. So that was a little extra process for me just because my claim had elapsed during the time that I wasn't getting paid. But look out for that. And again, just because you're doing the one process of faxing it in, it doesn't stop there. You do have to continue to call and be on top of the situation and, call these people, figure out, ask them, basically ask them, where is my money? And that's the only way you're going to be able to get it, to be honest. It's not just going to be easy to sit there and wait. It's not going to happen as fast unless you're one of the lucky ones. I didn't have time for that after, 8 weeks. I didn't have time for that any longer. So, right. So fax number, give them a call, push the process along again. And then, the week after that, I actually did get the retroactive monies from September to December. So, and that was in 2020. I hear that they're no longer doing retroactive payments with this new Cash Act that's coming out. So, again, stay abreast of the information as best you can. I don't want this video to go too long, so I have a couple other things I did want to address and talk about really quickly. This is on the side of the stimulus. So, stimulus. We're getting a second stimulus check. It's obviously been confirmed as $600. Maybe more will be coming, and definitely more should be coming, especially as President Biden does assume the throne or whatever. And yes, so I myself was wondering, because I have not received my stimulus check yet, where will that come to? Because I did receive the first stimulus check. It direct deposited into my account. So I'm here waiting, for the next one. And I'm kind of a little bit antsy. I'm like, give me my money, give me my money. That's what I do. Just kidding. But that is what I do. Anyway, so looking out for that. And I'm just wondering, and I wanted to confirm, are they going to be direct depositing that just as they did earlier this year? Or is it coming in the mail? Are they sending a debit card? So here's some things I wanted to go over. Again, I'm mainly answering the questions that I had because I know other people's will have them, but I have a couple other things written down here. So does it necessarily direct deposit to the same account? I looked on the IRS website. I was not able to find a definitive line that says, if you received direct deposit on the last stimulus, you will receive direct deposit on this stimulus. I did not find any information that states that. However, what I did find was this. Let me see. So there was a question here. Will I get my payment, or will get my payment show the status of my economic impact payment? Basically, will that status bar they have on their website show the status of their second payment? And it says yes, it obviously. But let me skip down to this note. Because payments are being issued based on information IRS already has on file, you will not be able to add a new routing or account information and cannot request to receive payment by EIP card. So basically what that represents to me is that no, you can't change any of your banking info. IRS is going to use the banking info that you had the last time to send the second one this time. So to me, that statement means that I really should be receiving a direct deposit just as the last time. I mean, I don't have the option to change that. I don't have the option to request a debit card. So, and that's what they state. I don't even have the option to do that. So it would seem, and they're going off of information from last time, it would really seem that it should be that same direct deposit information that they use. For folks that have a question about the address, like if you are for sure getting a debit card and you know that you didn't have direct deposit set up with IRS, so in that situation, you would be, again, receiving it to your address that was on file. And a lot of people have moved, myself in the year 2020, due to bad roommate situations and just chaos and confusion of 2020, have moved like 3 or 4 times in the year. So I certainly would not be at the original address that IRS had on file. So with that said, I wanted to answer that question. You can change your address. You won't. Okay, so changing your address with USPS mail forwarding will not work because any mail from the Internal Revenue Service is just going to go to the exact address that they had on file. No mail forwarding will work. What you'll have to do is change your address with the IRS directly. And again, I'm going to include those links and also phone number, which I'm on hold with them right now. And it's already been 47 minutes. So the IRS number will be there and also a link to the change of address form, which I have printed out right here for myself. And I'm just going to basically fill this out so that they have the correct address going forward. And I would highly recommend to do that because, again, folks, this shouldn't be the only and last stimulus check we're getting. We should be also getting a bigger stimulus check once Biden gets to the White House and whatnot. So you want to make sure these things are already set up and ready to go. So definitely use the link and just download the file, and go ahead and send that off to the IRS. It has information on where exactly to send this paper to here, regarding which city, which city and state that you may be in. So this information is not just for California. And yeah, let me see what else I have here. People that were looking to check their status of payment on IRS.Gov. I know it asks for those 3 things, your Social Security. I believe it asks for, there's 3 things that it asks for. But anyway, the 3rd thing that it asks for is the adjusted gross income. And sometimes that can be a pain for people to find, or you're like, what the hell? Where do I find that? What I did to find my adjusted gross, and this may be obvious to some, but just for people real quick that it may not be that obvious, you can find your adjusted gross income on your previous year tax return. So a lot of times people may be filing with TurboTax or, taxact.com. And if you can't find, if you can't remember, but you filed online, go to your email address that you use, type in federal income tax, and it should, give you your sign-in information for whatever software you use to file personally. Now, if you file with H&R Block or you file with, the lady down the street, then you're going to need to go to them and ask them. One last thing before we go. So this just happened recently that a bunch of people got a message from EDD, saying that they're not going to be paid and that their account may be flagged for fraud. So I did want to go over that just really quick. Basically, yeah, I'm just checking out on Reddit. A lot of people have been getting this message. Even people that had just got done with identity verification had got this message. People who had started working and they're not even using their EDD anymore had got that message. Pretty much everybody has, a lot of people, at least here in California, have gotten that message. Even I myself has got that message. A friend of mine has got that message. So basically, I'm just mentioning it so it's not a cause for alarm. More than likely, they are going to have us to re-verify our identities yet again, sending in sending in the ID, sending in the birth certificate. So that's why I wanted to make this video, just so that if they are asking for us to send in this information again, those of us who haven't done it yet, those of us who have already done it, and why are you doing this again? These are tools that you can use to basically get that done. So I didn't want to make this video that long. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Again, check the caption, because I'm just going to copy and paste the notes that I took, addresses and excerpts from the .gov website. And yeah, make sure you're staying and paying attention to all the different things that are going on with this. Again, it's not going to be very easy to just sit there and hope that you get paid. And I've seen a lot of people do that this year, and they were disappointed because they didn't get paid. Even I myself was waiting to get paid for 8 weeks, and I was on it every day, calling them every day. And I really feel like had I not done that, I would still be waiting. So do your researches, do your Googles, and yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be getting on here. Usually I don't do videos like this, but I just find that, sharing information is important. So I will get on and do more stuff like this if you guys find it valuable, if you like that. Anyway, peace. Have a good one.